The night was cold, the kind of chill that seeps into your bones, and the road ahead seemed endless. A worn-out couple slowly approached a small, dimly lit campground, their steps heavy and weary. "We can't walk anymore. Can we stay just one night?" the elderly man asked, his voice trembling with exhaustion. His wife leaned on him for support, her face etched with years of hardship and worry. The strangers who heard them might have expected a simple, polite refusal, but what happened next left everyone speechless. On this quiet stretch, a group of Hell's Angels bikers had set up camp, their motorcycles gleaming under the moonlight, engines silent but menacing. Everyone in the campground had stories about them, stories that made even the bravest hesitate. And yet, as the couple shuffled closer, something unusual began to unfold. The hardened bikers, known for their tough exterior and fierce loyalty to their own, paused. There was a moment, a long, silent heartbeat, where no one moved, no one spoke, and the tension hung thick in the night air. Would they turn the elderly couple away, or would something unexpected happen? How these bikers reacted would change the night for everyone present and leave a lasting impression on anyone who heard the story. In just moments, the ordinary night was about to take an extraordinary turn, and what they did next, well, you won't believe it. Stay with me, because the scene that follows is one you'll never forget, and it starts with a simple plea for shelter that no one expected. The bikers watched the couple carefully, their eyes narrowing under the brim of their helmets, yet something in the old man's weary expression made them pause. It wasn't fear or defiance, it was pure exhaustion, the kind that comes after a lifetime of struggle. The woman's hand trembled as she clutched her husband's arm, and for a moment, even the roughest biker could feel a flicker of empathy. Earlier that evening, the couple had left their small, creaky home miles away, hoping to visit family who had moved across the state. But a sudden mishap with their car and the long, lonely stretch of highway left them stranded. With no taxis, no nearby motels, and their strength fading, they had wandered onto this empty road, hoping for some human kindness. Little did they know that fate had led them straight to a group that most people would never dare approach. Among the bikers, a few exchanged subtle glances, the unspoken question hanging in the air: should they help these strangers or follow the code of keeping outsiders at a distance? The campsite was quiet except for the soft hum of the wind through the trees and the occasional creak of a motorcycle stand. Every small sound seemed amplified in the night, heightening the tension. No one moved at first, and yet the air was heavy with anticipation. The couple shuffled closer, leaning on each other for support, unaware of how their presence was stirring something unexpected in the group. And as the bikers slowly approached them, the night seemed to hold its breath, as if waiting for a decision that would change everything. But what would happen next? That part is still hanging in the dark. The silence stretched on, broken only by the occasional crunch of gravel under a biker's boot. Inside their circle, the older members exchanged subtle nods, their eyes flicking between the couple and the younger riders, who seemed both curious and uneasy. No one spoke, but the tension was electric. This wasn't just about letting strangers stay the night, it was about trust, reputation, and the unspoken rules that had governed the group for years. From the couple's perspective, every second felt like an eternity. The old man shifted his weight, wincing, and his wife's gaze darted nervously to the motorcycles parked in a half-circle. She had heard stories of bikers, some frightening, some heroic, but in this moment, she had no idea what to expect. The fear in her chest mixed with hope. Maybe, just maybe, these rough-looking men would show them the kindness they so desperately needed. Meanwhile, one of the younger bikers, leaning against a chrome-heavy bike, whispered to a friend about the unpredictability of the night. "Do we just ignore them?" he asked. His companion shook his head. "Not our way." "But, are we ready for the responsibility if we let them in?" Their quiet conversation carried a weight that none of the strangers could see, the balance between empathy and the group's strict code. Behind the fire pit, a seasoned member sat silently, studying the couple like a chess player planning a move. He remembered nights long ago when he himself had been in need, stranded and vulnerable. Something inside him stirred, a memory of compassion that seemed almost foreign in this hardened camp. As the couple hesitated on the edge of the circle, the biker's eyes followed their every move, and the night seemed to grow heavier, as if even the trees were leaning in. Every heartbeat, every glance, every whispered word added to the suspense. No one had made a decision yet, and the tension was building toward something that could either break or transform the night entirely, but exactly how? That question still hung, unanswered, in the cold night air. The night seemed to hold its breath as the old couple took tentative steps closer to the fire, their shadows flickering in the orange glow. Every movement, every creak of leather or whisper of wind through the trees, felt magnified. The bikers formed an unspoken circle around them, some standing tall, others leaning casually, but all eyes were locked on the strangers. The tension was almost unbearable, a fragile thread stretched tight over uncertainty. The older man wiped the sweat from his brow, trying to steady his voice. We won't trouble anyone. Just one night, please, he said, his words barely carrying over the crackle of the fire. His wife's hand gripped his arm tightly, and in her eyes, there was a mix of fear and silent plea. For them, this wasn't just a request, it was survival, a hope that someone, anyone, would understand their struggle. Inside the biker group, whispers grew louder, though still careful. Some argued quietly about letting them stay, some were hesitant, reminding the others of past incidents when strangers had caused trouble. Yet, a few of the veterans exchanged looks, memories surfacing of times when unexpected kindness had changed a night, a life, or even a reputation. The younger bikers fidgeted, unsure if they should step forward or stay silent. Every second felt like it carried the weight of a decision that could ripple far beyond this campsite. Suddenly, the couple's shaky movements drew the attention of the leader, a man whose reputation was known across miles of roads and highways. He stepped forward, boots crunching on gravel, and the firelight glinted off his jacket. For a moment, everything froze, the wind, the trees, even the distant hum of the highway seemed to pause. Every person present, biker and stranger alike, felt the intensity of what was about to happen. The tension was